This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from DeSanto Propane. DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Visit Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant at their original Waterloo location or all-new renovated location in Geneva. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Littlejohn and Barbie Orthodontics. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into FingerLakes1.com's live coverage of high school basketball. Friday night showdown here in Marcus Whitman as the Wildcats host the Lyons Lions. 2 independents, both in Class B2, going at it here in mid-January. Happy Friday. Welcome in, everybody. Paul Russo, Kyle Evans here with you for the call. Kyle, this matchup we've been looking forward to all weekend. It's getting a little bit reshaped than what we initially expected, but nonetheless, 2 teams in this B2, both independent, that they're vying for valuable sectional points. This is a pretty good barometer, too. We were able to talk with both coaches here before getting going here, that they're gauging this as a pretty good barometer, too, as well, to what to expect when we get to that sectional time in Class B2.
Yeah, in my opinion, these are 2 of the best teams in the Wayne Finger Lakes, 2 of the best boys teams, I should say. Wayne being one as well. And, yeah, it's going to be a tough test, I would say, for each team. One's going to be short-handed, and one is going to face, I think, a really good defensive team and a very well-coached team.
Yeah,
Marcus Whitman.
Let's start with that Marcus Whitman team. They probably have the biggest absentee within this game, being Brody Royston, the senior guard. And, one of the things that we were kind of talking to Coach Greg O'Connor about is the fact that, just really a few days ago, he wasn't even really able to put weight on his ankle. Now able to. He's walking around. Talked to him. Things are on the right path for the future of this team and this year for him. But tonight, out in a big, big absentee for the Wildcats.
Yeah, big loss. There was several nights where he was the leading scorer and probably would be if he played tonight. So it's a huge loss. They're going to have to rely on some other guys that maybe haven't got much playing time this year, especially in the starting role. But, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, and on the Lions side of things, we were able to talk with Coach Dean Schott a little bit as well. Now, there might be a couple depth pieces, probably not anything too major there, but for them, one of the things I keep an eye on here, and it may not happen necessarily tonight, but Jameer J.J. Johnson closing on a pretty big milestone.
Yeah, I believe he's about 55 points away, so in the next 2 games he could have that. Another 1,000-point scorer here in the Wayne Finger Lakes. We've already had 3 of them, and we might have 4.
About to say either way, he's probably the odds-on favorite to be that 4th anyway this season, no matter which way you slice it. So, Kyle, we're just moments away from tip-off here, so we're going to step aside here, turn over to the public address announcer here at Marcus Whitman for pregame festivities.
We expect your cooperation in supporting the participants of tonight's contest. Please remember, as a spectator, be positive in nature, throwing objects onto the court, use of profanity, racial or sexist comments directed towards officials, players, or team representatives will not be tolerated. Marcus Whitman expects all fans in attendance to follow these guidelines, or they will be told to leave. Please remember to follow the Section 5 sportsmanship motto: be loud, be proud, and be positive. Will you please stand for the singing of our national anthem by our very own Holly Blue Eye.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And now for team introductions. First, the visiting Lyons Lions, coached by Dean Schott, Paul DeSanto, and Riley Spindler. Number 4, Stephen Lebrecht. Number 5, Stavel Lebrecht. Number 12, Contrell Parker Jr. Number 22, Jaja Smith. And number 34, Jameer Johnson. And now for your starting lineup for our Wildcats. First up, number 4, junior Ian Clark. Number 5, senior Miles Prendergast. Number 11, senior Caden Smith. Number 13, Braden Amadeo. Number 23, Taraku Blue-Eye.
Everybody, Paul Russo, Coplins here with you courtside. We're at center court, directly across from the benches. We got that first row, first aisle seat. Can't beat it. Lions in their away blacks. For them, it's the Lebrechts of Stephen and Stavel, Contrell Parker, Jaja Smith, and J.J. Johnson starting. Johnson will take the jump against Miles Prendergast. For Marcus Whitman in their home whites, they're going to be moving from our right to left. Lions left to right on offense. Johnson, Prendergast ready. We're ready. Officials are ready. Ball's in the air and we're underway. And Whitman will control the tip with Aiden Clark running point. Lions settling into defense here. Tip, and it will go to Amadeo. Amadeo now swings it left wing for Blue Eye. Go in the first quarter.
Good start for Whitman. They're going to need a lot of second chance opportunities to keep up with this Lions scoring.
Definitely agree with you there. 0-0, but as you mentioned, it's the second chance opportunity here. Amadeo top the key, swings it for Blue Eye. He'll take a three-pointer, no good to the left, and rebound brought in by Johnson. Oh, streaking up court, Stavel Lebrecht all alone and in.
Yeah, and they did that against Wayne the other night on Tuesday. They caught Wayne off guard a few times.
Lions in a full court defense here. Whitman able to break up with Prendergast. Finds Blue Eye now on the left wing, or rather corner, it's Amadeo. Now they're going to play some pitch and catch above the three-point line. Prendergast with it, goes into the block for Blue Eye. Streaking Clark through the lane, no good. Rebound Johnson up to Parker. He's above the timeline by himself. He'll pull out and set up the Lions offense. Parker, top of the key, drives through, looking for help. And before he can do that, picked up the pivot foot, traveled. Turnover and Whitman ball. 2-0, the Lions advantage. We got 6:53 to go here in the first quarter. Whitman inbounds it. Clark finds Amadeo, and Amadeo just traveled, picked up, kind of on a slide unintentionally there. And just as quickly as Whitman got the ball back on a turnover, they cough it back up to Lions.
Yeah, maybe, 2 turnovers in 2 seconds?
Not even, 3 actually, because we're at 6:50 to go. So here comes Lions. They're going to dump it into JJ right away. Kicking it back up for Stephen Lebrecht. On Stavel, he'll drive through, and we'll have a strip, and they're actually called jump ball first. And it will remain Lions possession. It was Terrico Blue Eye who met Stavel in the paint. 6:41 to go, first quarter, 2-0 still. The Lions advantage. Parker inbounding it. He'll go to Johnson on the right block. Guarded by Blue Eye. Big man over. No good. Oh, and what a job by Parker to tip it in. Contrell Parker gets it to 4-0 now. Lions up over Whitman. Whitman able quick to break the full court pressure. Three-pointer blocked by Caden Smith. He took it. Parker had it. Coast to coast, able to find Stavel Lebrecht. Kick it back out to Parker in the left corner. He now drives through, laying up and rattles off, no good. Johnson, second chance bucket, in and one.
You're going to see a lot of that tonight.
And they will get Terrico Blue Eye with the foul. His first personal and team's first. So 6-0 Lions. With 6:24 to go in the first quarter, Johnson looking to get 3 points the old-fashioned way and push it to a 7-0 lead potentially. Releases and does.
So
So 7-0 here. Lions full court pressure again. They're going to try and kind of break down the Wildcats this way, and they almost got it done. Ball last off Jaja Smith. So remain Whitman ball. Inbounding Clark goes Amadeo. And Amadeo at the logo is going to be met by Parker. Swings it over for Clark. Now into Pendergrass. Back to Clark. Now into the paint and blocked from behind. Amadeo sent packing by Johnson. Gets his own board. Here comes Parker the other way for Lions. Lions, they will find Stavel Lebrecht. Now find Steven Lebrecht. Wing three-pointer. No good long. And rebound brought in Pendergast. Here comes Whitman the other way. 5:50 to go first quarter. Trailing 7-0. Aiden Clark, left wing. Three-pointer. No good long. Rebound Pendergast. Second chance for Whitman. Finds a cutting blue line. Blocked away again by Johnson. Out of bounds will remain Whitman ball, and J.J. Johnson making his presence known down low. Be 5:39 to go in the first quarter here. Whitman, Amadeo inbounding to Prendergast. Now finds Smith on the left wing. Top the key for Clark. End of the block for Blue Eye. His lane good. Whitman able to break the ice on offense. 7-2 they trail with 5:27 to go in the first quarter. Parker running at point for Lions. Goes to Steven Lebrecht on the elbow. Drives through the lane. Fairly uncontested. His lane good. So 9-2 now the Lions advantage. Full court pressure again to Clark. He lobs up to Caden Smith streaking down the sideline, and it's going to be out of bounds. Almost got coach shot, who was at the tail end of the Lions bench close to the baseline there. And it'll be Lions ball off the turnover. Our first substitution of the game, as Logan Storms will check in and get Caden Smith. We'll see how long Storms is in. He missed the game against Geneva earlier this week with illness. So Parker running point for Lions, as he has pretty much every possession in terms of set-wise for them. Goes to Johnson, left corner. Back out to Parker. He'll take a deep three. No good long. Rebound getting tipped around. Ends up in the hands of Logan Storms. Storms with it. Tried to find Clark, but no. Intercepted. Steven Lebrecht finds Parker. Slams it home. And that will force Coach Greg O'Connor into a timeout as Contrell Parker tomahawks it home. Timeout comes at 4:39 to go here in the first quarter. It will be a full timeout taken by Coach Greg O'Connor, with the Wildcats trailing 11-2 early on to the Lions.
Yeah, and this was the similar start that Whitman had the other night against Geneva. I think they only had 4 points in the first quarter, just fell behind early and was never able to catch up, and it looks like that's a similar path already.
Slide presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com made possible thanks to the support from DeSanto Propane. 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. You can go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more information or call them toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Paul Russo Calvin's here with you courtside at the Jim Tuck Court here at Marcus Whitman High School. The Wildcats break the whole first. 4 for them is Storms, Clark, Medeo, Prendergast, and Blue Eye. Lions now breaks. They have both the Lebrechts, Smith, Johnson, and Parker. Full court pressure again for Lions. Amadeo has it. Swings it back to Storms who inbound it. Now above the timeline, Clark. He's at the left wing. Met by Steven Lebrecht. Picked up the dribble. Finds Blue Eye in the left corner. Now he's going to be double teamed there. Ball tipped. It'll remain Whitman ball. Last off of Lebrecht. 4:26 to go, first quarter. 11-2 still, the Lions advantage. Clark, the inbounder, goes to Blue Eye. Now finds Storms at the top of the key. Fakes left, now comes right. Parker guarding him. Now Lions go settle into a 2-3 half-court zone. Amadeo with it, swings it. Prendergast, corner three, no good long. Ball got tipped. It's going to be last off of Whitman, I believe. No, it's actually going to be off of Lions last. We'll say off of Jaja Smith. One bad part about, I'd say, the half-court spot we have over here, Kyle, a little bit when stuff like that happens in the far corner. And now the officials are going to confer here. Amadeo will be the inbounder for Whitman in front of the Lions bench. And they're going to discuss a clock issue, I believe, here. So I don't think the ball hit the rim, and I think there was an inadvertent reset of the shot clock, and they got it to where it's supposed to be. So it went from 33 to 25 on the shot clock. Amadeo, the inbounder, he'll go to Storms. Now swings it for Blue Eye at the left wing. Pendergrass at the free throw line now. we'll have a foul here as it's Stavella Breck with the foul, and it is. He kind of came up on Prendergast from behind with a push. It'll be his first personal and team second on the quarter. So fresh 35 on the shot clock for Whitman, 4:07 on the game clock for the quarter. Storms the inbounder, goes to Clark, now to Prendergast. He's set back on his layup by Johnson, and then ends up in the hands of Parker. Down into Johnson on the block. Triple team able to find Stavella Breck alone on the block, and his lay-in's good. So 13-2 now, the Lions advantage over Whitman. Storms with it. He's able to break the full court pressure of Lions. Top of the key, swings it for Blue Eye at the left wing. Three-pointer, no good. Rattles out and rebound Johnson. Johnson with it, hands it off for Parker. Parker works right side, now comes back to the top of the key, reset, and get the Lions going on offense. Dumps in to Johnson on the block, and his layup blocked away from Blue Eye. Second chance, no good. Tipped around. Third chance, Johnson, no good, and a rebound Prendergast. Now the Whitman defense give a little bit of Johnson, what he's been doing to them. Prendergast with it now, finds Blue Eye on the left block. Reset up top with Storms at the top of the key. Swings it for Amadeo. Pass intercepted. Stephen LeBrecq. Parker. Parker laying, no good, and we'll have a foul on his way up. I believe it's Storms with a reach in, and it is Storms with the reach in. His first personal. Team second on the quarter. Contrell Parker Jr. to the line for the first time today. 4 points on the night for the junior guard. Averaging a hair over 12.6. His first is good. Substitutions for Lions. Joel Sermons comes in. for Stavella Breck, and John Smith checks out. Marcus Asbury. Back with it for his second of two is Parker. No good, long, and rebound brought in Amadeo and Whitman. So 3 to go here in the first quarter, 14-2, Lions up over Whitman. Amadeo with it, goes into a cutting Prendergast. He's up against Johnson, and another block for J.J. Johnson. His fourth on the night already. Lions with the rebound. Sermons with it, finds LeBrecq, three-pointer, good. Stephen LeBrecq, first three-pointer of the ball game. Pass intercepted, ball on the ground, bodies on the ground. Stephen LeBrecq with it. Here comes Lions the other way on offense. Parker with it, he's running point. Once again here, we got 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Parker works left side, guard side. Now skip pass in the corner for Blue Eye. Up fakes LeBrecq, drives baseline, lane, good. Tarek Blue Eye, his fourth. Whitman going a 1-3-1 zone. Double team emphasis on Johnson. Three-pointer no good by LeBrecq, but second chance here on offense for the Lions. Parker top the key, jumps it into Johnson, guarded by Blue Eye, and one for J.J. Johnson. And Logan Storms picks up the foul. That'll be his second personal, team second. Substitution for Lions as Benjamin Bookmiller Jr. comes in for Contrell Parker Jr. Johnson, 3 points on the night, was an and one earlier this quarter. Back at it again, and no good on that. Ball getting tipped around, rebound Blue Eye, and the Whitman Wildcats. Miss Connor Williams check in for Whitman at the last dead ball, as he came in for Clark. Whitman with on offense. Corner three by Storms, no good long, and rebound will be brought in by Stephen LeBrecq. He'll ring it up. Nope, he'll dump it off for Sermons, and Sermons will take the point guard duties with Parker off the floor. Swings it for Asbury, left wing. Now he's directing traffic, looking for help. He'll hand it off for LeBrecq at the top of the key. 20 on the shot clock. We got a minute to go in the quarter. Sermons drives through and blocked up top, and they're going to travel first before he was able to release.
Definitely the right call.
So 56.2 on the game clock, 35 on that shot clock for Whitman. They're trailing 19-4. Storms inbounds to Blue Eye. Full court pressure, man-to-man by Lions, and they're able to break it. Williams has it above the timeline, swings it for Storms now. Storms in the corner for Blue Eye. He takes a three-pointer, and that's going to be his fifth block of the ball game, I believe, already. Here comes Sermons. Oh, he tried to find a cutting Buckmiller, and that pass is a little bit too hot to handle. It will be a Whitman ball. So 39 seconds to go here, and we have, before we even got going, we had a horn go off at the table. And it looks like Miles Prendergast actually, this one might be a little bit of extended time here because I got some blood on the jersey, and it especially shows up obviously with a white jersey. So we'll have a quick second here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get within that time frame they give Kyle, and it doesn't look like it. So Whitman's going to do it with his jersey. So full court pressure, it's 39.4 on the game clock for Whitman in this first quarter. Storms has it off the inbound from Amadeo. He's guarded by Sermons. He's going to get hip checked up the sidelines. Sermons picks up his first personal foul, and it'll be the team's third. So 36 and a half seconds, now 35 on the shot clock with the reset. So about, obviously, a 1.5 second differential here. Kyle will be interested to see how Whitman approaches this. Inbound goes to Storms. He'll be guarded by Asbury at the timeline. Now top of the key, Storms drives through the lane, able to find Williams alone in the corner for three, and it's in. Connor Williams, the junior, able to get on the board. So no shot clock, 17 seconds for Lions. Into Johnson on the block, skip past Asbury. He'll take a left wing three, and it's in. So answering back are the Lions. 5 on the clock here. Storms has it, top of the key now. He's able to break quickly. 2, now 1. Amadeo gets it off in time. No good long. And that will wrap up the first quarter of play here at the Jim Tuck court. Lions up 22-7. Don't go away, we'll be right back with the second quarter of action on FingerLakes1.com.
Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Visit Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant at their original Waterloo location or all-new renovated location in Geneva. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at Cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way.
Welcome back in, everybody. Paul Russo, Calvin's here with you on FingerLakes1.com. So we have the Lyons down here at Marcus Whitman taking on the Wildcats, and the Lions are up big, 22-7 here as we begin the second quarter.
Yeah, Whitman just hasn't scored nearly enough points. Blue Eye has 4 of their 7. It's like I said, it's literally similar to the Geneva game the other night, which they scored 35 points.
So Whitman will have the ball to start the second quarter. They're not out of the huddle yet, but Lions is. On the floor for them, it's Brexit, Steven and Stavel, Jaja Smith, Conchal Parker, and J.J. Johnson. So the starting 5 on the floor for Lions. Whitman will now break the huddle. And it looks like it will be Blue Eye, Amadeo. Prendergast, who is in a New Jersey number because of the blood. He's in number 21 now. With Connor Williams and Caden Smith. So we're back underway with Blue Eye running the point for the first time tonight. Swings it for Smith on the right wing, looking for help. Goes back to Blue Eye in the corner. Kicks it back out. And good defense there, swarming by Lions. He'll be tipped out of bounds. I believe last off of Stavel on the game clock. Amadeo, the inbounder, right baseline underneath the basket. Goes to Prendergast, top the key for Smith. Amadeo now wing, kicks it for Prendergast. Now back block, skip pass to Williams. A bit too high to handle, and it will be Lions ball off the turnover. So not exactly the best way to start things for Whitman on offense here to get the second quarter going, as Lions will come back on their first offensive possession. Parker controlling it, swings it for Stavel Lebrecht. Whitman doing their best to try and contain Johnson, and in the way of that is Jaja Smith, who got forgotten about on the block. His lay-in good. His first bucket of the game, the freshman. It's 24-7 now. Lions in front. Whitman coming the other way. Amadeo's pass to Williams picked off by Smith. He's coming the other way, going coast to coast. Number 22, no good. And rebound brought in by Caden Smith. Smith the other way with 7 to go in the first half for Terrico Blue Eye. 7 of Whitman's 10 points off the hands of number 23. 24-10, the Lions advantage now with 6:45 to go in the second quarter. Parker finds Johnson, skip pass, Stavel Lebrecht in the right corner, drives baseline. Nice Euro around Prendergast, misses but gets his own board. And a second chance here for Lions. It didn't hit the rim, no fresh shot clock, they have 15. Smith hands off.
Too easy.
So Whitman coming the other way. 26-10 now, the Lions advantage. With 6:10 to go here in the second quarter. Amadeo with it for Prendergast now above the timeline. Blue Eye top of the key. Swings it for Smith on the left wing. Lions in a 2-3 zone here on defense in the half court after starting in a full court. Smith will take a three-pointer. No good short, and rebound brought in by Johnson. Johnson will leave it for Parker. He'll swing it up court quickly to Smith on the right wing. Thought about a three, but fakes out. And we'll have an offensive foul as Smith pushed off of Amadeo. That'll be Smith's first personal foul. Team's first on the quarter. And a couple people end up getting dinged up on that one as Prendergast ended up on the ground as well. He's going to check out, and Aiden Clark will check in for him. So it'll be 5:48 to go in the second quarter, 26-10. Whitman trailing. Blue Eye with it, and he'll get fouled, bring it up floor, and they'll get Jaja Smith again. So 2 quick personal fouls here in a matter of a couple seconds for the Lions. That's also the second team foul as Smith will check out. Asbury will come back in. Clark, the inbounder, he'll go to Amadeo. The senior in his second season as a Whitman Wildcat goes into Blue Eye on the block. Skip pass back out to Smith. Now to Amadeo, top the key. Back to Smith. Dumps it in for Clark. Now back top the key, Amadeo. Lions defense doing a great job. Amadeo launches a floater through the lane. No good, and a rebound brought in. Stavro Lebrak. Number 5 for the Lions. He'll bring it up court this time. He's barking the orders for the Lions offense. 5:15 to go in the first half. Swings it into the court for Asbury. Now back out to Stavro. Stavro skip pass. Finds Steven in the corner. Three-pointer. No good. Rattles off. Rebound Johnson. Johnson thought about dunking it. I don't think he had enough of the ball, and it's just a lay-in for the second chance bucket.
Yeah, he tried to do what he did in Wayne the other night. He did throw one down.
So 28-10. Lions up over Whitman here. And the full court pressure is going to break right in front of us. Steven Lebrecht with the steal on Amadeo. Finds Parker, top of the key. Three, no good right. Rebound brought in Asbury, so second chance rebound opportunity, but intercepted. Tried going to Stavro Lebrecht breaking, but pass intercepted in Clark. Whitman the other way already. Able to break the pressure. Blue Eye with it, top of the key. Finds Amadeo. A little baby jumper, no good from the baseline. Rebound brought in Steven Lebrecht. 4:22 to go here in the second quarter. And then Lions trying to get the lead a little bit bigger. Contrell Parker directing traffic from the right side wing. Fakes right, now comes back through the lane. Back top the key, Steven Lebrecht to Stavro Lebrecht. He'll take a three-pointer from the corner, no good. And rebound brought in by Terrica Blue Eye and Whitman. Halfway home in the second quarter, 4 to go. As Amadeo has it, guarded by Parker, able to get out before he went out of bounds right in front of us here at the table. Blue Eye with it, goes top of the key for Clark. Clark looking for help, he'll go to Blue Eye on the right wing. Now into the corner, Amadeo, left alone, three-pointers, in! Brian Amadeo on the board for the first time tonight. Lead back down to a 15-point advantage for Lions, 28-13, 3:35 to go in the second quarter. Parker top of the key, and that kind of woken up the Whitman student section here as Coach Schott was trying to get a 30-second timeout called, and the officials didn't quite hear it because of the student section. So the 30-second timeout will come at the 3:29 to go mark of the second quarter here. That is Coach Schott's also de facto use it or lose it for the first half. Paul Russo, Kyle Lins here with you at the Jim Tuck Court. Happy you could make us part of your Friday night. 28-13 Lions out in front of Marcus Whitman. Whitman down one of their key players, obviously named Brody Royston. I have to imagine with him on the court, it might be a little bit of a closer advantage.
Yeah, very lopsided. Lions is just dominating on both ends of the floor. As you mentioned earlier, Jameer Johnson already has 4 blocks. I know this is my first Lions game of the year, but to me, Jameer looks way better defensively than he ever has been.
Yeah, they're also pressuring him pretty good on offense as well. We'll talk more of that, though, or the San Propane halftime report. We are back underway. Johnson had a top of key. Finds Steven Lebrecht cutting on the baseline. Lay-in, rattles out, no good. Second chance, no good from Johnson. Third chance, though, is in. So Johnson inches closer to the 1,000-point mark, pushing the Lions lead to 30-13 with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Whitman able to break the pressure up court. Smith with it, finds a cutting Prendergast in the lane. Now back out for Clark at the left wing, back into Prendergast. Alone on the block, sent packing though by J.J. Johnson. That was quite the drought for him for blocks in this game, Kyle. But that's number 6 by my count.
He might have a triple-double with blocks.
The Wembayama stat line. Substitution here. Asbury checks out. Bookmiller Jr. checks back in. Block, he'll dribble baseline, now cuts back out for Storms. He'll take a floater, no good short, and Johnson with the rebound. Johnson to Stephen LeBrecq, up to Parker by himself, and ooh, we're of a foul as Parker and Prendergast came together. That was Prendergast's first personal foul, team's first on the quarter, and they're gonna say that's on the floor, so Parker will be inbounding it. Left side baseline underneath his own basket. Goes to Bookmiller. Corner 3. No good long. Rebound. Good save. Initially was going to go off at Johnson. Bookmiller almost was able to get to it. It'll be Whitman ball coming the other way off the out of bounds. 2.5 to go in the second quarter. Whitman with it. He'll break the pressure. Logan Storms have poked away from behind. In the hands of Bookmiller, now up court to LeBrecq by himself, launches a lane, no good. Johnson lost the ball. He was about to slam it home on the tip slam. Third chance though for Lions. There will get the board. LeBrecq, left wing 3, no good short. And Sermons comes with the inbound for Lions. Finds a cutting LeBrecq. That lay-in good. Stephen LeBrecq's first bucket of the quarter. 32-13 now. Lions in front of Whitman with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Prendergast off the handoff from Storms is good. Miles Prendergast gets on the board for the first time tonight. 32-15. The Lions advantage here with 1:47 to go in the second quarter. Parker to Stephen LeBrecq to Sermons on the left wing. Sermons out into Johnson, left block, double team. Dribbles out of it, lay in good. And one. So Prendergast picks up his second personal foul, team second. As Connor Williams checks out, Terrico Blue Eye checks in, Marcus Asbury checks in, Stephen LeBrecq checks out. So Johnson, 1 of 2 at the line tonight. We have a late at 1 call there, but he was fouled. His free throw no good, rebound Prendergast. Full court pressure again here by Lions, no rest for them. Whitman able to break it. They got Blue Eye above the timeline. He'll cut through. Johnson blocks him away again. J.J. Johnson is clinic down there on the block. Whitman working quickly off the inbound. Clark goes to Prendergast, who goes to Smith, back to Clark in the right corner. He'll drive baseline. Tried to kick it out. Pass intercepted by Sermons. Sermons with it, had Parker, and off the leg of Parker into the hands of Logan Storms. 2-on-2, Storms and Clark, and off the hands of Storms, it will be Lions ball coming the other way.
What a sloppy sequence that was.
Yeah, certainly not the best basketball we've seen in a short amount of time. Marcus Whitman's substitution. Brandon Amateo gets Logan Storms for a quick breather here with 1:09 to go in the second quarter. Parker running point. Once again, he's above the timeline, and we are at 1 minute to go in the first half of action. Sermons with it, left side wing, goes top of the key for Johnson, guarded by Blue Eye. It's a box and one zone for Whitman with the focus on Johnson. He'll hand off for Sermons. Sermons now to Parker on the right wing, 15 on the shot clock. Parker still with it, now 10 on the shot clock. He's directing traffic. Bookmiller moves baseline. And one-on-one, Parker on Amadeo. Drives through, Mets Pendergrass, and we'll have a foul. No, travel first. As Parker tried to move around, Prendergast on the block. So 37.6 on the game clock, 35 on the shot clock. We'll have a little offense for defense here as Braden Bookmiller will come in for J.J. Johnson here at the end of the first half. Inbound Amadeo goes to Pendergrass, tip, but ends up in the hands of Whitman anyway. Clark with it. Up court now into the corner for Smith. Smith back to Clark, and now top of the key resetting is Whitman. Blue Eye in the left corner. He'll work baseline. I'll kick it back out for Clark. Top of the key. Now into the block. Intended for Prendergast. Too hot to handle. Turnover out of bounds.
Yeah, and Aiden Clark looked like he was scared to shoot that.
And now Johnson will come back in for Brandon Bookmiller. 22.3 on the game clock, and Whitman will get a late sub as Williams will come in for Prendergast. And Coach Schott saying that he wants the Lions to take one more possession here as Parker's walking up court at the timeline, and now he's in good graces, 15 on the clock. Will be guarded by Amadeo. Whitman goes to a soft man-to-man, focus on Johnson. Parker has it, it's 5 on the shot, on the clock. Swings for Asbury, three-pointer, good! And that will take care of action here in the first half, where it has been all Lions so far, 37-15 over the hosting Wildcats. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back in just a few moments here on FingerLakes1.com for the DeSanto Propane Halftime Report. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Strong is a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Visit Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant at their original Waterloo location or all-new renovated location in Geneva. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at Cicinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Littlejohn and Barbie Orthodontics. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness. LittlejohnOrtho.com.
Morning, everybody, to the DeSanto Propane Halftime Report here on FingerLakes1.com. Paul Russo Calvin's here with you from the Jim Tuck Court. Lions 37, Marcus Whitman, the home team 15. And Kyle, just one of those games where at this point, if you're Marcus Whitman, you just want to chip back into this thing a little bit here, because at this point it's just been all Lions on both sides of the court.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus Whitman has scored 15 in 2 quarters, and Lions just did that in the second quarter alone. There's times where they might be able to cut into the deficit a little bit, but I remember back-to-back times they turned the ball over, and you can't be doing that when you're down by double digits. So, yeah, I don't know. It looks just like the Geneva game. I don't know if there's really anything you can do. And the way the coach was talking beforehand, I think they kind of knew that it wasn't going to go as great. I mean, you have to expect that. Your 2 players that you rely heavily on aren't here, and this Lions team is one of the best in the area.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, they just can't really generate much on, frankly, offense, and that's kind of really hampering what they can kind of do on defense, in all fairness. We've seen Lions break out really well on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean, we mentioned it a lot, but J.J. Johnson's really wreaking havoc down low in the post. You can tell that's kind of where Whitman would prefer to do their bread and butter on offense, and that's just kind of hampering things at the moment in that sense as well.
Yeah, and, you know, they have other guys, the younger guys, like both Lebrechts, Contrell Parker, you know, who they didn't really ever rely on last year as much as they are now because, of course, they lost J.C. Walker, Mike Briggs, you name it. So they are just a completely different team, and, you know, they're 11 games in now, and it seems like they're starting to click on all cylinders. Maybe in the first few games we kind of wondered, is the youth still, you know, trying to settle in a little bit? But right now it looks like they're doing it all.
Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of tell that now. We mentioned off the top here, this is a battle of two independents, right? So normally at this point we'd be talking maybe a little about the league standings and stuff like that, but with this we can actually do a little bit of a closer look of sorts to the sectional standings on both these teams, Whitman and Lions, in Class B2 this year. At the top you have Avon, then East Rochester, and at the moment Marcus Whitman's sitting third, Canasteo Greenwood fourth, and then Lions sitting in fifth. And at that point, once you get outside of this top five, you have a pretty big drop-off. It's 18 points, sectional points, down to fifth, or tied sixth between Sodus and Holly. So this is big for that top half of the sectional spot where, you know, frankly, you're talking maybe about one extra home game potentially, something like that.
Yeah, and if Marcus Whitman does go on to lose this game, that would be back-to-back losses. You know, it would kill their sectional points. Where Lions, you know, obviously they'd gain a pretty good amount. And Avon, you mentioned, you know, was part of that class too. Neither team plays them this year during the regular season, of course, which would have been nice to see too.
Right.
But yeah, Lions already has played East Rochester, and it was a close game, but you know they won that game, so those points are help Lions big time too.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more, I'd say, in the post game about looking ahead here because Lions has a couple big ones still kind of on tap with Geneva, Moravia, and World of Inquiry, most notably on the B1 side, especially there. World of Inquiry just kind of running away with things right now at the top of B1. On the, you know, the Whitman side of things, a couple other big games too, right? Batavia, they have a whip around with them. East Rochester, Hornell, Minders still awaits them, as well as Wellsville, who is also independent. Now Whitman's going to break their locker room first. We got about 3 minutes left on the time clock here for halftime, so let's do a quick scoring breakdown here. Leading the way in the game and for the Lions is Jameer J.J. Johnson. He has 13. Following him, 7 for Stephen Lebrecht, 6 for Marcus Asbury. He's had 2 threes, 1 in each quarter. 5 for Conchell Parker Jr., Stavel Lebrecht with 4, and then 2 points for Jaja Smith. For Marcus Whitman leading the way with 7, Terrico Blue Eye. 3 points apiece for Brandon Amadeo and Connor Williams, and then 2 for Miles Prendergast. Now both teams break the halftime huddle here with about 2.5 to go on that front. Do a quick look around here at the other games in the Wayne Finger Lakes tonight. Bloomfield at Honeoye on the boys side get things going out west. South Seneca at Dundee Bradford. That's a pretty big game for that Finger Lakes West League as well. South Seneca is out to obviously a really good start, undefeated, but the Dundee Bradford boys, I don't think we necessarily expected to be kind of where they are right now, but they're trending in the right direction, so that's pretty big for the league side. Geneva's at Mid Lakes, Minders at Penn Yan, Naples at Red Jacket, Palmac at Newark, Spencerport is at Victor, Waterloo at Wayne, a big one on the Finger Lakes east side there, with Wayne sitting on top, and then Waterloo tied for second, and Canandaigua at Livonia to wrap things up there. On the girls' side of things, Mid Lakes at Bloomfield, East Rochester at Clyde Savannah, North Rose Wolcott at Gananda, Soda is at Geneva, Lions at Red Creek, Penn Yan at Minders, Newark at Palmac, and Victor is at the combined Greece Athena Odyssey team. For Finger Lakes 1, no upstate hoops next week. We're going to take the week off as the schools have a day off anyway. And we will have an updated power rankings. Not too sure where we'll be at next week. We're trying to make that determination as we navigate through what is a not truly light week necessarily, Kyle, but with, you know, Monday off of school, there's not many games even on Monday even, so it turns into kind of like a lighter week for a lot of the teams in the area.
Yeah, and isn't midterms a thing I thought coming up maybe?
Yeah, midterms are the week after as well, so. That's kind of like the last true, I'd say, at least athletic-y type break before we get to sectional times for these teams.
Yeah, it's coming very quick.
And it's going to be big for obviously the health of some players. We've noted on that as well, especially for Whitman, but they're the only ones kind of dealing with injury right now throughout the area. So hopefully all these boys and girls get rested up, healed up, and we can have ourselves a fantastic run to the sectional tournament time.
And the last update I just got on the Wayne-Waterloo boys game, Wayne was up 10-9 after the first quarter.
So the
Waterloo hanging tough.
Tigers hanging tough with the Eagles up there. So, maybe if everything holds out, J.J. Johnson will talk to him post-game too. We had a little jersey exchange with Cam Blankenberg at the end of that game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Whose idea do you think that was?
I'm wondering if it was Cam's.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So Lions is going to break the hull first. They will have possession as they move from right to left now on offense. Whitman will be going from left to right. It will be the starting 5 on the floor for Lions in Johnson, Lebrecht, Parker, and Smith. Whitman breaks the huddle. It will be the starting 5 as well for them. Clark, Smith, Amadeo, Prendergast, and Blue Eye. Inbound Parker goes right to the block for Johnson, but gets off the hands of Johnson in a bad way. And it's going to be a Whitman ball on the turnover, and they almost turn it over. As Stavel Lebrecht went flying after the ball, out of bounds above the Whitman bench. It will be Whitman ball. Clark inbound, goes to Amadeo. Got the Clark back to Amadeo at the top of the key, swings it for Smith. Now to Blue Eye in the right corner, drives baseline, now kicks it back Amadeo, up fakes, now goes to the corner for Blue Eye. 20 on the shot clock for Marcus Whitman. Clark at the top of the key with it, goes to the Prendergast on the block, finds Amadeo on the corner, back to Prendergast on the wing, 10 on the shot clock. Blue Eye in the paint, sent packing by Johnson again. Johnson now up court, finds Stavel Lebrecht, finds Parker on the corner, and his pass, he was going to go one extra to Smith, be off the leg of Clark. It will be Lions ball, 7:23 to go in the third quarter, still 37-15. And before we can even start, we get a stop again as Amadeo blocks the pass in from Parker. Parker again inbounding it. He'll go to Johnson on the up. He drives through the Whitman's arc, and Clark pointer, no good long, and rebound brought in by Parker. Parker now up floor, met by the 2-3 zone of Whitman. Sends it for Stavel Lebrecht, now into Johnson, back out to Parker, top of key up, now drives through the lane, Euros, jumps off for Stephen Lebrecht, spin move off of Prendergast, land up, no good. Ball tipped around, ends up in the hands. Miles Prendergast leaves it for Aiden Clark, and here comes Whitman on offense. They have numbers, but now they don't. They weren't able to get it up in time. We'll have a foul as Stephen Lebrecht will get charged with a reach. He got in from behind on Aiden Clark. That'll be Lebrecht's first personal and team's first on the quarter. 7:15 it remains since halftime. With it, he'll hand it off to Lebrecht. Now hands off for Parker. Parker top. Blue Eye left wing 3, no good short, and into the hands of Parker. Parker the other way for Lions, 3 on 3. Only free throw on this and to go in the third quarter. Whitman's going to be able to technically break the press, not the way they intended. Prendergast had to dive on the ground to save it, and Logan Storms with it, dumps in for Prendergast. He'll take an elbow jumper, no good, rebound J.J. Johnson. Johnson leaves it for Stephen Lebrecht. He breaks the timeline. They don't have numbers. Here's he'll find Stavel. Back to Stephen. He'll take a wing three-pointer. No good long. And rebound brought in Logan Storms. Storms up court with it. Finds Prendergast on the block. Has to up fake. Spins off. Meets Johnson. Laying good though for Prendergast. So Whitman's first bucket of the second half. 44-17 with 4:40 to go in the third quarter. Stavel Lebrecht with it, left side wing. Whitman in a man-to-man defense right now. Stephen Lebrecht with it, left corner now. Dribbles out, finds Stavel. Stavel now drives through right side. Lebrecht laying in good. So 46-17 now, the Lions advantage. 4:18 to go. They're loud and in it now for sure, as if they weren't before. Whitman with it, blocked again. J.J. Johnson on Amadeo, it's left. Whitman with it, blocked again. J.J. Johnson on Amadeo. It's last off of Amadeo. A substitution or two. Parker checked out. Sermon checks in for the first time this half. For Blue Eye, now to the wing for Storms. 30 on the shot clock for Whitman. Storms top the key, Blue Eye. Now swings it for Williams, left wing. Dumps it on the block for Prendergast. Up and over Johnson. No good on the lay-in. Rebound brought in by Smith. And here comes Lions, the other Smith into Johnson for Sermons. Has to drive through, kicks out to the corner. Staval Lebrecq with it now. Works right side, launches a runner, no good. Rebound Prendergast for Whitman, and chasing it was Sermons. Good job by him on defense from the full court pressure. And it will be out of bounds off of Sermons. It will remain Wildcat ball. Marcus Asbury checks in. I believe he'll get Smith, and it is for Smith. Prendergast inbounds, goes to Storms. Lions still full court pressure here. Storms works sideline. We'll have a foul as he got across the timeline. They'll get Stephen Lebrecq with the foul, his second personal. Team foul, number 2 on the quarter. Storms inbounding it in front of his own, or rather fans. Will have a timeout on the floor first as Coach O'Connor takes a 30-second timeout at the 3:12 to go mark here in the third quarter. And Kyle, this is our first true stoppage of time here in the third quarter. It's been a fast one as Lions still able to maintain this big advantage on offense.
Yeah, 29-point difference. I think it's been the loudest it's been though in here all game.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's a 29-point game.
Yeah.
And I know our friend with Fresh Takes, Nick Felice, is here covering the game as well, and he even said that's the loudest 29-point game he thinks he's ever been to. So
yeah,
both teams break. And down it in front of his own fans here. Storms will go right to the top of the key for Amadeo. Dumps it for Prendergast, left elbow, now into the corner for Williams. Able to get Johnson in the air. He'll drive through, finds Prendergast in the lane. Now the Storms alone on the block, laying good. Logan Storms, the senior guard, on the score sheet for the first time tonight. It's 48-21 now, Lions in front. 2:53 to go. Staval Lebrecq finds Steven for a long 2 from the top of the key. Rattles off, no good. Rebound for Prendergast. Storms with it off the rebound now. Finds in the corner Amadeo. Now back out for Storms on the right side wing. Swings at Blue Eye. Opposite wing three-pointer. Rolls off, no good. The rebound brought in by Johnson. He'll leave it for Asbury, and he'll bring up court. Finds Staval Lebrecq with it. Now he'll cut through the lane. Now paps it back out, top the key, and resets the offense. Kiss Asbury. Was off of him. And it will remain Whitman ball with .8, so it's enough for a catch and shoot here for Whitman. Let's see who will be inbounding. This will probably give us a pretty good idea who the ball will be destined for. Storms inbounding it from the deep right corner and pass tipped, inbounding it, and clock should have ran, I believe, and that's what they're going to handle with. Tip is going to do that, or maybe not. Hold on here now, and now. All right, so .3 remains on the clock here off the tip. So still technically enough again for a catch and shoot here. Storms the inbounder. He'll go to Prendergast on the tip and no good. And so the long drawn out final play of the third quarter will wrap up 53 for Lions. Whitman with 33. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter of action here on FingerLakes1.com.
Little a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at Little John Ortho.
Whitman able to chip away there right at the end of the quarter, but still it's a pretty dominant third quarter for Lions. If it wasn't for those free throws there at the end off the technical and the foul, we're still probably talking here a Lions winning a quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, Whitman did outscore them by 2 points. Something they didn't do in the first 2 quarters. So they did take a positive step, and it's only a 20-point deficit compared to 29. So just keep cutting, keep fighting.
So Whitman will start with the ball here. They'll be heading to the line for 2, and they're going to say a foul. Can't tell who it was. They're going to say it's on Contrell Parker. So that's his second personal, team's first on the quarter. So Storms will head to the line for the first time this quarter. Storms back with his second quickly, and Lions in front here with 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Staval Lebrecq with it, trying to find J.J. Johnson, but skips back to Parker. on the right wing, and LeBrecq will pick up the foul. I believe because of the technical, that should be his 5th. Yeah. Yeah, because of the technical, that will be Steven LeBrecq fouling out. He'll foul out with 9 points on the night, and he will give way to Marcus Asbury, who comes in for him. So an interesting matter of circumstances here, and past few moments for LeBrecq. Storm's good on that, as he's making some bread and butter at the free throw. Few moments for LeBrecq. Storm's good on that, as he's making some bread and butter at the free throw line tonight. We'll have 7.5 to go here in the fourth quarter, as Storms goes and makes that one. 8 for 8 from the charity stripe for the senior guard. 53-37, we're back underway. Parker with it. Hands off for Staval LeBrecq. Leaves it for Jaja Smith, top of the key. Smith now into Johnson, and his pass lasts off of Blue Eye. And it will remain Lions ball. They'll have 26 on the shot clock, 7:20 on the game clock. Parker, the inbounder, goes to Johnson, but it's a little bit too high for Johnson to get. And pass intercepted by Blue Eye. Storms the other way with it now. They have numbers. Storms able to swing it now for Amadeo. Now in the corner for Williams. Up fakes. Goes back to Amadeo. Skip past to Blue Eye in the right corner. He'll take a three-pointer, and it's in. And Terrico Blue Eye will cut a little bit more into the lead. And now Coach Schott will take a timeout. At the 7:02 to go mark here in the fourth quarter, it will be a full timeout taken by Lions, as the lead has evaporated down a little bit here. It's 53-40, as things have tightened up as Whitman has gone on a run here in the past couple minutes of gameplay. This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from Dr. Rod Littlejohn, Dr. Liz Barbie, their proud Sparta area high school athletes, and Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Paul Russo, Kyle Vince here with you courtside, the Jim Tuck court, Kyle. And, all along here, we kind of thought Lions at this point was going to be in cruise control. And all of a sudden here, the Wildcats have cut back into this lead at one point, 28. And since then, they've cut down to 13.
Yeah, Marcus Whitman's outscoring them 25-16 in the second half. Making up some ground here, and suddenly it really is a game.
And back underway, 7 to go. Here come the Lions. Up the court, Whitman, a 2-3 zone right now. Now shifts into more man-to-man as LeBrecq has it. Gets it to Johnson, now to Parker on the right wing. Goes top the key for Asbury. Asbury directing traffic, 20 on the shot clock for Lions. Parker with it top of the key. Swings to Asbury left wing. He'll take a three-pointer. No good short. Rebound brought in. Terrico Blue Eye. He'll leave it for Storms. Here comes Marcus Whitman the other way. Amadeo to Williams in the left corner. Now back out to Amadeo at the wing. Top of the key for Storms. Storms back to Amadeo. Now to the free throw line for Prendergast. Into Williams. Corner three. No good. Long. Rebound J.J. Johnson. Johnson leaves it for Parker. Parker up the sideline, left side, now above the timeline. Works on Amadeo, cuts through the lane. Reverse lane, no good. Johnson's second chance, up and in. J.J. Johnson on the board. He's able to get the scoring for Lions back going again. As now the full court pressure works. Intercepted Parker to Smith, no good. Rebound Amadeo for Whitman, and we have a foul as Amadeo tried to cut up court. Let's see who they'll get there. They'll get Contral Parker, his third personal, team's third on the quarter. Amadeo, the inbounder, he'll go to Storms. Full court pressure again by Lions. Storms with it above the timeline. They're able to break the full court pressure. Swings up to Prendergast, now into the corner for Williams. Back to the wing for Amadeo. Skip past top the key for Storms. Now free throw line for Prendergast. Into Williams on the block. His shot sent packing by Johnson. In the hands of Amadeo, though. Second chance for Whitman, no good. Pass thrown away by LeBrecq. 5.5 to go here, fourth quarter. Lions with the ball. Jaja Smith through the lane, and we'll have a foul. And they're going to call Logan Storms on the reach. That'll be Storms' fourth personal, team's first on the quarter. 5.5 to go, fourth quarter, 55-40. Lions up over Marcus Whitman, a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Parker, the inbound, try to go to Johnson, but this ends up in the hands of Amadeo. Now Amadeo above the timeline. He'll leave it for Storms. Storms out top of the key. He'll pull back and set up the offense for Marcus Whitman. Swings it Blue Eye. Right wing down to the corner for Amadeo, right side. Dumps in on the block for Prendergast. Met there by Lebrecht. Tried to go to Williams. Bad pass. Intercepted by Johnson. Johnson up court to Parker. Parker unable to handle it. Amadeo gets it, and we'll have a foul as Parker and Amadeo went after it. And I believe they're going to say Parker kind of jumped on top of him, and that's where the foul is going to be. So foul go against Contrell Parker. That's going to be his 4th personal. So now Lions, a couple of their key guys looking down some foul trouble here.
And Jameer did follow out in the last game at Wayne.
So Amadeo inbounds it. Goes to Williams. Now back to Storms, and Storms above the timeline. 30 seconds on the shot clock for Whitman. Amadeo right wing, top of the key now for Storms. Williams left corner 3. No good short. Rebound tipped around, and Whitman had an opportunity for a second chance. This will be last off of them, though. Prendergast had his hand on it last. It'll be a Lions ball coming the other way. 4:52 to go on the game clock. Lions still in front by 15, 55-40. Parker with it. Lions going to beat the match of a Wildcat box in 1 zone. Dumps in now for Johnson on the block. Lay in, no good. He's going to line for 2. I would say Prendergast got him, and I believe he did. He kind of came up way over the top. Prendergast picks up his 3rd personal, team 2nd on the quarter. Johnson 2 of 4 from the charity stripe tonight. Last free throw came in the 3rd quarter. Johnson with it for his 1st. No good short. Substitution, Aiden Clark will come in, and he'll get Connor Williams for Whitman. Score remains 55-40 for the moment. When we get back going, it'll be 4:37 to go, and the clock for the 4th. Johnson on his 2nd, no good, short again. Rebound Blue Eye. Whitman with the ball. He'll leave it for Storms, and Logan will break the timeline. Lions 2-3 zone this time on defense. Top of the key Storms, 3-pointer on the way. Rolls off, no good. Ball tipped around, ends up in the hands of Marcus Asbury, up to Parker. Parker with it, cuts through as we have a couple guys down on the floor in the backcourt. It's Johnson and Blue Eye, but now they're able to get back up. They look good for wear. Leaves it for Johnson, handoff, no good. And Prendergast led to the line for 2. Or rather Johnson will. Prendergast had the foul. And it looks like Blue Eye's dinged up from whatever happened down low before.
I think Jameer fell on his ankle maybe, or his knee.
Prendergast picks up his 4th personal, team's 3rd. And Brody Royston, who out for this game with an ankle issue, went over and had towel duty on the floor. Johnson no good on that 1st. And we have an official timeout. They're going to go back and inspect the floor a little bit better. Down low on the baseline and meets the standards. And we're going to be back going again here. 4:10 to go on the clock when we get back going again. Johnson's 2nd on this trip is good. 23rd point on the night for J.J. Johnson, 56-40. 4:05 to go in the 4th. Blue Eye breaks the half-court pressure. Hands off for Clark. His shot blocked by Johnson. And we have a technical foul on J.J. Johnson, as I believe he said something to Clark after the block.
The crazy thing is that's not the first time he did, but now this time it's called.
That's will be Johnson's 1st personal foul as well on the game. So that'll be the 5th team foul. Whitman will be at the line the rest of the way no matter what, as Storms will head to the line and take the technical free throws. His 1st, good. Johnson checks out. Ben Bookmiller Jr. checks back in. Storms' 2nd, good. And now Storms is an impressive 10 of 10 from the charity stripe. Clark will inbound in front of us here at the booth. He'll go to Storms in the backcourt. And we're halfway home, and Storms' pass intended for Prendergast picked off by Parker. Hands off for Gustavo Lebrecht, and last off of Lebrecht, unable to handle it on the lay-in. 3:51 to go in the 4th, and we'll have a official timeout here for a second. with 3:51 to go. 56-42, Lions up over Marcus Whitman. I'm not too sure what's going on over at the scoring table. Looks like they're doing a double check, I believe, on fouls. And we are all set now. So full court pressure by Lions here. Clark, the inbounder, goes to Storms. He's guarded by Parker. Now it's going to be double team with Smith. Back to Clark. And pass picked off. LeBrecq with it. 3-on-1 goes against Storms right away. No good on his lay-in. Storms rebound. Up court to Blue Eye. Blue Eye to the streaking Amadeo. His lay-in no good. Rebound Blue Eye. Second chance no good. Rebound by Marcus Asbury. And we're going to have a foul on Aiden Clark. He went over the top of Asbury. That should be Clark's second personal. Team foul number 4. As team foul number 5, apologies. As J.J. Johnson will check back in and get Bookmiller, it'll be Parker checking out. Or no, it's now apparently still LeBrecq. 3 guys going over the bench there at one moment for Lions. So Parker will have the ball now. Gets it above the timeline, 3:27 to go. In the 4th, hands off for Asbury now. Swings it left wing for Smith. 3-pointer short. Rebound by Storms, but packed off from behind by Asbury. Lions will get a second chance here. Smith with it. Left side wing. Dumps it off for Asbury in the corner. Skip pass to Parker on the right wing. 20 on the shot clock for Lions. Parker dumps in for Johnson on the block. Laying up, no good. And we'll have a foul called on Prendergast again. He got him in the air. And that'll be Miles Pendergast's 5th foul, so he'll foul out as well now. Pendergast will foul out, 6 points on the game for him. And it will be Hayden Smith answering the call for Marcus Whitman. Johnson to the line. Once again, he'll have 2. One of 4 in this quarter from the line, make that 1 of 5. As he is long on this first free throw on this trip. We'll have 3:02 to go on the clock when we get going once again. 56-42. Lions, no good on that free throw. Johnson ball tipped around, and it's going to be a foul coming back the other way. And they'll get Marcus Asbury with the foul over the top, his first personal. Will Sermons will come in for Lions, and he will get Jaja Smith. So Terrico Blue Eye will head to the line for the first time tonight. Has 12 points so far. Blue Eye, the junior, 3rd year on varsity, releases his first, rolls in and good. So 13-point deficit at the moment for Whitman, 56-43. Back with it for his second. Blue Eye, good. And Coach O'Connor will take a timeout off the free throw. And I believe it will be a full timeout, and it is a full timeout for the Wildcats with 3:01 to go in regulation. This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to support from GoNet Speed. The future of connection is here, and it's fiber made for how we live and work today. GoNet Speed fiber is faster and stronger than anything out there. You can check availability in your area, as well as plans and pricing at GoNetSpeed.com. Get ready for fast and reliable fiber internet straight to your home. And Finger Lakes Partners, get the insurance you need from the people you know at Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, the insurance agency for home, auto, or business. Get an obligation quote today at FingerLakesInsurance.com. Sure to stick with us here on FingerLakes1.com post-game for our Lil John and Barbie Smiles with Style post-game show, as well as our Chitino's Pizzeria and Restaurant player of the game. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening tonight, no matter where you are, and make us part of your evening. Paul Russo, Kyle Evans here with you courtside at the Jim Tuck Court. Lions 56, Marcus Whitman 44, Kyle. And at one point, this lead was 28, down to 12. Lions just can't seem to shake Marcus Whitman at this point.
And we've talked about it a little bit on our podcast in the past. Lions seems to jump out to these big leads and then kind of fall apart a little bit, I guess the word would be, in the second half, allowing teams to come back and at least make it closer in the 4th. And that's kind of how it's been here. Some turnovers, some fouls, Just not clean basketball as they had in the first half.
So Lions bring the ball up court off the timeout by Marcus Whitman. Parker with it. 2:55 to go here. And Marcus Whitman, Bookmiller Jr. back out to Parker. Parker top the key, now drives through left side. Up, no good, and we'll have a foul. Let's see what they call here. This will be pretty important. They'll get Caden Smith, the senior guard's first personal foul. And we are over the limit here for both sides. So Parker will head to the line for 2 as Lyons is in the bonus. Parker 1 of 2 at the line tonight. He's got 5 points total, all coming in the first quarter of play. Has it for his first, releases and in. 57-44 for the time being. We'll have 2:47 on the clock. And we get rolling once again in live action. Parker releases his second, and it's in. Whitman with the ball, 2:45 to go, 58-44, they're trailing Lions. Lions in a 2-3 half-court zone. Storms top the key. Pass intent for Smith, picked off by Parker. 2-on-2. Parker will go up with it. Floater, no good. Gets his own board. Power dribble up, no good on the second chance. Rebound, Caden Smith and Marcus Whitman. Hands it off for Clark. Clark up court now, far side. Works left wing. Looking for help, skip past Amadeo. Now into the corner. Caden Smith, up fake. Now looking for help, finds it in Blue Eye in the block. Blue Eye will dribble out, 20 on the shot clock. 2:15 to go on the game clock. Storms working through this lane with it. Now backs out, finds Clark in the left corner. Up fakes, works baseline. Trying to find help, finds it in Blue Eye. Corner 3, dialed up, no good long. The rebound by Sermons and Lyons. Trying to dribble out with it. Gets caught up by Amadeo. He's above the timeline though. Parker with it right wing. We're under 2 to go. And Marcus Whitman blocked with Johnson. And he'll be fouled on the floor by Blue Eye. That'll be Blue Eye's third personal as Johnson heads back to the line once again.
Is it just me, or has there been way more fouls in the second half?
It's picked up, as they would say, I believe. So 1:51 on the game clock at this stoppage. Johnson with it. Sitting on 23 points on the night. First free throw on this trip is good. So make that 24 and 59 for the team. Johnson back with it now for his second of the 2. Release is no good long. A rebound brought in by Blue Eye and Marcus Whitman. Hands it off for Storms. 1:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Down 15 here, 59-44. Whitman's going to need a bucket at this point, I think, to have any realistic shot. Storms finds Clark in the left corner. He'll work baseline. Now gets trapped. Goes up top for Storms. Three-pointer short. And brought in by Clark. It didn't hit the rim. No shot clock. Reset for Whitman. They got 10 on it. Blue Eye left wing. Up fake. Drives through. Laying up. No good. Ball tipped around. Saved by Storms. No, it wasn't. He was on the line. It'll be Lions ball on the turnover. 1:21 on the game clock. That might have kind of done it here in Jim Tuck court. Parker with it for Lions. He's above the timeline, directing traffic. You can kind of tell, I think Coach Schott wants him to use a little bit of clock here if they can. Bookmiller into Johnson on the block. He's double teamed, laying up and good though. So 61-44, 1 minute to go in the game. Logan Storms with the top the key, drives through into the corner. Amadeo, a three-pointer on the way, rolls off no good. Rebound Johnson. A nice emphatic grab by the big guy. And now Parker slowly walking up court. 45 seconds on the game clock. He's above the timeline now. 25 on the shot clock. About 17-second differential between the two. Parker with it, directing traffic. I think we're going to try and get it into Johnson maybe. Oh, a bit of miscommunication. Him and Bookmiller are in the corner. Parker with it though, 10 on the shot clock. He'll drive through, launches a runner, no good. Gets his own board on the floor, and he's going to hit the line for 2 as he took a shot. And I think he just got to realize possibly his own error. It could have drained the clock. As the foul will go against Aiden Clark. He picks up his third personal for the Wildcats. Parker to the line, 3 of 4 on the night from the charity stripe. And Parker releases his first on this trip short. And we'll have Connor Williams come in for Marcus Whitman. He'll get Logan Storms, who really, if it wasn't for his free throw shooting, Whitman doesn't really get back into this game. And a hell of an effort by the senior. He's been dealing with illness all week. Parker good on that one. And we will be back underway, 22 and running on the clock. It's 62-44. Lions up on Marcus Whitman. The Lions will get a big road win here at the Jim Tuck court. Clark with it into the block for Smith. Back to Clark, left wing. He'll take a three-pointer. No good short. 10 on the clock. Now ball getting tipped around. Blue Eye with it. Leaves it for Williams over to Smith, and Smith able to get on the board for a bucket. And that will do it here in Marcus Whitman. Your final score, the Lions 62 to the Marcus Whitman Wildcats 46. And that will wrap it up in this B2 action here tonight. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere with our Smiles of South postgame show, and we'll be joined by our Chicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant player of the game. We'll be right back here on FingerLakes1.com.
This live presentation of high school basketball on FingerLakes1.com is made possible thanks to the support from DeSanto Propane. DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane. Chicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Visit Chicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant at their original Waterloo location or all-new renovated location in Geneva. Dine-in, takeout, delivery, catering, and banquets. Order online at chichinos.com. Live, laugh, and eat well. It's the Italian way. Little John and Barbie Orthodontics. Dr. Littlejohn, Dr. Barbie, and their outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal: to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through their exceptional orthodontic care. Check out Dr. Rod and Dr. Liz online at littlejohnortho.com.
Welcome back in, everybody, at FingerLakes1.com for the Little John and Barbie Smiles of Style post-game show. Paul Russo Calvin's here with you. Your final Lions 62, Marcus Whitman 46, and Kyle Whitman able to put up a little bit of a fight there in the second half, just a little too much too late. And frankly, you know, we talk about free throws mattering. It's a big deal. And Logan Storms, who've been dealing with the flu all week, stepped up big time for Whitman, but really the main storyline here probably once again has to be J.J. Johnson for Lions.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, making an impact on both ends of the floor, just making it difficult for obviously any team to contain him, but even more so a shorthanded Whitman team. And, you know, you give Blue Eye a ton of credit. He did his best. I mean, no one can contain this guy. I would call him a freak at this level.
Yeah, I mean, this kid is a junior, and by our rough anyway math tonight, he ended up at we had him at 26 points over here. There was 55 to go to going into the game to 1,000, so he's inching ever closer. Look, in theory, it might be 2 games. We're talking to a couple Lions fans here post-game who they're thinking it's going to be 2 games. It could very well be, the way he's playing right now, just 1 game. And like we mentioned at the top, Kyle would be the 4th, at least in the area this year, to eclipse that mark.
Yeah, and the wild thing is he could have definitely had more points, but he struggled a little bit in that. I think it was a late 3rd, early 4th with some free throws. I think he missed 3 or 4 in a row, and that could have put him over the 30-point mark just tonight. Yeah, I mean, he was having himself a day. He was more than influential down low on the block, as we were kind of talking about. I know myself, rough counted him at about 8 blocks, probably more though. Tough to do all that over here, obviously, but big stuff for him. And we're hoping to get him over at the booth for an interview. He's our Chicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant player of the game. He got back into the locker room pretty quickly here, though, so hopefully we will get him for a few words. If not,
Hopefully we can catch up with them at some point later on, though. So, Kyle, do a quick scoring breakdown here while we await some things out. We'll start, obviously, on the Lions side because it was the game high and team high 26 for J.J. Johnson, 11 for Stavel Lebrecq, 9 for Stephen Lebrecq, 8 for Contrell Parker, 6 for Marcus Asbury, and 2 for Jaja Smith. On the Marcus Whitman side, 14 for Terica Blue Eye and Logan Storms, 6 for Miles Prendergast, 5 for Braden Amadeo and Connor Williams, and then 2 for Caden Smith. What's on deck here? Lions improving to 7-4 on the season. CG Finney awaits them next week. Then a game against Geneva and Gananda to wrap up the month of January. They open February up with York coming to town. Then they head up to Red Creek. Then a big game on February 8th against Moravia, who they met in the Class Final Four last year, and C for the state. Rematch there. That game at a neutral site in Waterloo. Then they wrap up the regular season with Sodus on the road in Williamson, and then at World of Inquiry.
Yeah, it looks like JJ should have one more point. I just went through and added them all up.
Appreciate you. I'm not good at math. So J.J. Johnson ends up with 27 then, so that puts him ever closer then to that 1,000-point mark, as we were kind of alluding to there. For Marcus Whitman, they fall to 7-4. Waiting for them, a road trip to Batavia and East Rochester. Then they host Mid-Lakes and Rochester Academy Prep to wrap up the month of January. February opens up on the road in Hornell for the Wildcats, then hosting Wellsville at Miners, and then they wrap up their regular season against UPrep up in Rochester.
I do have a stunning update quick.
Go ahead.
A minute and 36 seconds left. Waterloo leads Wayne.
Wow.
52-46. They're up 6 with a minute and a half to go.
Well, that's pretty big then, I would say, for the league stuff over there. And it looks like we will get a couple moments with J.J. Johnson as he comes out of the locker room. So we'll give him a couple questions, give him his certificate, and then get him on out here. It was a big game for the big fella who had a nice piece I saw earlier today in the local newspaper as well.
Yeah, definitely going to have to ask him about that.
Yeah, so we'll get the headset prepped and ready for JJ. There's that. And we'll get him hooked up. And there we go. All right, JJ, good game. You got us all good in the earbuds?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So it's been one interesting week for you guys. And obviously being an independent once again this year, probably what Coach Schott kind of really enjoys doing with the schedule.
Right.
What was it like, first off, going up against Wayne, and then what it's also been all year anyway, a pretty good Marcus Whitman team?
Well, going against Wayne, it was a great experience. I mean, I always wanted to play Cam because, he was my former teammate for AAU. So I think that was a great experience. I think we played good as a team. We just got to play a little tougher defense. And we would have came out with a W on Tuesday night. So.
Well, he came out with a pretty big W here tonight. Ended up not being maybe as smooth as it was in the first half and the second half. But really, over here at the booth, we thought the catalyst really was you once again. Offensively, ended up with 27 tonight. But really, the main talk for us was defensively down low on the block, and that's something that even this year, Kyle brought up the fact, too. It appears as though that's one of the big improvements for you so far has been that defense.
Right.
So one of the other questions we had quickly, I want to go back to that Wayne game just for a second. Whose idea was it for the jersey swap?
It was me. It was me. I had to get one with Cam because that was the only time playing them, so I had to get one. But hopefully next year we can play them twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you're a junior closing in on 1,000 points. I know that's probably not the main goal for you, obviously, but for you as a junior, what's that like, kind of having that achievement, just pretty much be right there, and then kind of eclipse that and then get in pretty much right into sectional play at that point?
I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's a big achievement. I mean, for my family, I'm doing it for my family, for my school. But we want to go bigger. We want to get to Glens Falls. Back to Binghamton. We want to go to Binghamton this year. So.
I know. I forgot about that today. I saw the thing. I'm like, that's right, Binghamton this year. So, all right. One last thing before we get out of here with it. You follow college football at all, or is that something?
Yeah.
Okay. So who do you got Monday night? Ohio State or Notre Dame?
I got Ohio State.
Oh my!
I got Ohio State. I'm sorry. I got to go Ohio State.
2 for 2 asking the kids this.
Oh my God! I got Ohio State.
I don't like either. I'm a season ticket holder up at Syracuse, so I appreciate Ohio State for giving us Kyle McCord this year more than anything else. So you're at Cicino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, player of the game, JJ. So you got a free cheese pizza your way at Cicino's. You can use it at either Waterloo or Geneva locations.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations on the big win, JJ.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Oh, gee.
All righty. Oh, he's still talking about the Buckeyes. I love that. He's doubling down. I respect that. So, Kyle, we'll get on that note. Any parting shots here before we head out?
No, it was my first game in 10 months. It was cool to be back. Obviously, the team that I grew up watching and went to their high school, Lions, so it's always cool to watch them.
Alrighty, so appreciate you, Kyle, for coming out and being at the booth here today. Get you out for a couple more games, I think, this year, and stretch the legs out for you a little bit. So your final once again, Lions 62, Marcus Whitman 46. For Kyle Evans, everybody back at FingerLakes1.com. Thank you so much for listening in and tuning in, and we will talk again very soon.